Alright guys, this is Epster, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to put a high flow bracket on your graphics card. This particular bracket is compatible with the 400 and 500 series or line of graphics cards by EVGA. Make sure it is compatible before you buy it, and this is this particular high airflow bracket is by EVGA. I bought it online for 10 bucks off their website, and shipping was like 4 bucks. So it's a pretty good deal, I guess, and I'm going to show you guys how to install it right now. Alright, so what you guys are going to need for this is a screwdriver, just a basic screwdriver with a Phillips head, and I am going to maybe use a tiny screwdriver set just in case some of the screws are a little bit smaller than this one will fit. So here we go. First thing we're going to do is make sure your system is off and let it cool down for a little bit, because graphics cards and processors and all that stuff can generate heat, and you don't want to burn yourself or damage your card in any way like that. So what we're going to do after my system has been sitting for about 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to carefully unplug the PCI Express power cords right there and push those to the side. And then I'm going to come on the other side of the camera, and hopefully you guys can still see this. We're going to take out the two screws that are holding in the graphics card itself. Alright, there's one. There's number two. Alright, now those two screws are out, and then there's a little latch back here because this is a PCI Express graphics card, not graphics cards. I just have one. You're also going to want to make sure that your all of your cables are detached and stuff like that. Alright, so you can see, I hope you can see, let me switch sides again. Yeah, you can see that these vents look a little restrictive, especially compared to that. This one, you can tell, has a lot more space for the air to flow through and around the connections even. Alright, so let me get my computer out of the way, and then I'll start the installation process. So the first thing we're going to do is, like I said, make sure your graphics card is cool. Make sure you're working on a good workspace. I have a wood table, and I don't want to have anything happen to this, so I'm just working on a towel. You could work on a rubber mat that is grounded, other stuff like that. Just make sure that it's a nice, suitable workspace for electronics activities and such. So here's the bracket we're going to be installing. As I said before, it's got a lot more ventilation area and a lot more space, more openings, I guess, for the air to go through and stuff like that. So what we're going to do, we have to take out these two, this one, and then this screw right here, which you're going to have to bend. You can see it right there, tiny bit. You're going to have to bend this plastic shroud, I guess, is the only way to do it, and that is it. I just realized I forgot a pliers. You're also going to need a pliers for this. Let me go run and grab a plier. Alright, I have wire cutters, which are good enough. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my screwdriver, my smaller screwdriver, to access this screw right here. And I'm trying not to bend the plastic too hard. Actually, I guess I'm going to use this one. Try not to bend the... God dang it. Wow. Alright. Let's... You guys can see it like that, I guess. Not very stable of a working area. Come on. Alright, you know what? I don't really care if you guys can see this or not, because I don't want to strip this screw, because it's kind of an important one. There we go. Now it's coming. Come on. Alright. Come on. Come on. Alright, so the key with this is going to be working slowly and trying not to damage anything, and trying not to, have to send in your graphics card because you tried to install a high flow bracket. So this screw is a little bit tricky because of this plastic shroud. So I'm just gonna pop it out like that. You actually don't have to remove this all the way because I'll take a picture of this so you guys can see it better. But it's sort of here. I'll just show you on this. You guys can see how this. No, you can't. You can see how it sticks out. So you don't have to take it out all the way. It'll just sort of pop off. And now what you're going to do is you're going to take your pliers. These are not pliers. And gently, without like trying, without squishing them or without, you know, stuff like that, you're going to gently twist them so that they loosen, and then you can do it by hand. You don't want to crush these because you do have to screw your DVI adapters or your D-sub adapters if you're using an old monitor still. You do have to still screw those in, so you don't want to mess these up. And I do apologize if this is a little blurry, but my camera's autofocus is not too good. So I have to use manual focus. And of course, if I'm doing stuff here, I don't have multiple arms, unfortunately, to reach over and be focusing while I'm doing this, and I don't have a cameraman or camerawoman. Forever alone. Alright, so just this one more screw, or whatever you want to call it. And here we go. My bracket is off, and you can see a lot of dust. And I'm going to pop this screw out because that's kind of precarious. I'm not cutting the screw, I swear to God. I'm just taking it out like that. Alright. So you can see I'm not touching the gold connectors, I swear to God. I'm just touching the edge with the fiberglass. You can see your heatsink in there with the copper tubing around it, or the copper piping, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So now what we're going to do is we're going to line this up, and right away you can see that there is just so much. Let me compare these side by side. There's so much more room for the air to go out of on this one, the high flow bracket, as opposed to the stock bracket. You might not see that much improvement with a card like this because it doesn't have a blower type. This is more of just a fan where it sort of vents out the front and sort of vents out the back. As you can see, there's space here for the air to come out, and there's heat sinks by the power, whatever is, I can't remember the name off the top of my head. But with a blower type card, you will see, or I expect you would see, a greater difference in temperatures. By using this one as opposed to this, because the way the blower cards work is the fan is usually back here more, and it's pushing air out of the back of your case pretty much, and the more room the air has to go out of, the more air it can suck in. It's yeah, pretty much. It's like a I don't know. I guess I don't know what I'm doing at all. So I'm going to go ahead and line this up, and I am going to start reinstalling my standoffs or my connectors. I don't know what you call them. Alright, so you just want to get them finger tight at first, and then you can go back with a pliers or a small wrench, I guess, if you have a wrench that small. Or you could just leave them finger tight, unless you really tighten down your cables. Alright, and now this is going to be a little off depending on what graphics cards you have. And that's because this is made for, like I said before, this is made to fit on the 400 and 500 line of graphics cards by NVIDIA and by EVGA, stuff like that. So it might be a little bit off, but it doesn't really matter. It's just more important thing is that you're getting a lot more airflow through it. So then we're going to go ahead and I'm not sure if this is actually threaded or not, but no, it's not. So actually, I guess you don't need to install this last screw right there. I guess what that means is you're going to want to tighten these a bit more, like I said before, without crushing them. Yeah. Right. And NVIDIA and other distributors were actually giving these away for free when the GTX 680 came out, or it first came out. I think they were giving away giving them away free to the first 500 or 200 people. I don't know, but they are pretty cool. And I will, if I notice a big drop in temperatures, I'll make a video about that. But if not, then I'll leave it at where it is. While you're in here, you can also dust off your fins a little bit gently, I guess, on your fan if you want, because mine are pretty dusty. Even though I have positive airflow and stuff like that in my case, it still gets pretty dusty. The other thing you might have to do is, you can see how this is bent a little bit. That's because when I first got my graphics card in my case and I first built it, if you watch that video, I'll post a link right... Oh shit, where's the corner? I'm looking at a screen, I can't see anything. I'll post a thing up in the corner. Yeah, I guess that works, right? Oh my god, this is challenging. Right there. There should be a link right there. What was I going to say? Oh, it didn't fit in right because the way that my case was oriented was I had to bend these forward a little bit so that it would actually seat in there. And then I could screw it in, and then it would lock into place. So you might have to bend this a little bit. This one looks like it's sort of bent already, which is kind of cool, I guess. But just gently pry it forward, and you can play with it a little bit. Make sure it, it's going to seat in your case snugly. And then to reinstall it, just do the reverse of what I did in the beginning of the video. Just put it in the slot. The connector will lock into the back. And then do the 2 screws. And if you don't know how to do that stuff, then you probably shouldn't be watching this video about me installing this. There you go. Alright guys, that's it. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this and tech tips and other videos. My upcoming videos, I finally went ahead and purchased a Noctua NH-D14, the ultimate of CPU coolers. So I've heard from Noctua, and I will be reviewing that very soon, as soon as it gets shipped to me. I'm very excited for the product, and I can't wait to see it. So stay tuned for that.